Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, including the new Sword and Shield stuff, go ahead and check out the Potown store, they've got all the codes in stock. You can also use the code OmniPoke at checkout for a 5% discount on your orders. For today's video, we are looking at Magcargo-GX. This is one of the archetypes that made top 16 of that large Japanese tournament. This 60 is slightly different, but the core is definitely the same. The idea being, we get some good ball search back in the game. Maybe we can try and make some of these stage 1s work. Oranguru now can combine with Magcargo very well to try and stack the deck to help us draw into what we need, but also get extra crushing charge value. An ability that usually is just too risky. Now we can really cash in on and get some huge damage output with Lava Flow. So I think there are certainly some perks to playing a deck like this. I'm sure if you've been playing the ladder over the last couple of days, you've noticed that Obstagoon is everywhere, and having a free matchup against Obstagoon, which is becoming a popular deck, at least on PTCGO, is certainly worth having, as well as just some big damage output on your side. So let's jump into the list and talk about the cards individually and go through it all. So we'll start off with this thick Magcargo line. We have a Ditto as well as 4 Slugmas. I'm playing the 70 hit point Slugma because I like the value of Magma Ring, but also I like having a 2 retreat cost because I've made a slight change from the Japanese 60 where they just played the new 80 hit point Slugmas. They have a 3 retreat cost, and I play 2 switch 1 Air Balloon, and they just play 3 switch. So I'm trying to slightly min-max my Slugma with my addition of Air Balloon, because I think Air Balloon's just better than a 3rd switch overall. So that's why I have the 70 hit point ones, plus Magma Ring. It can sometimes be handy for like the attempt at trapping things. Obviously, so many decks are playing high switch counts and stuff, so it rarely comes into too much importance, but I think this 10 is sometimes reasonable. You could also consider the 80 hit point one because it burns, and then you can do like 20 hit points onto things like Mewtwo's and other tag teams. You can get them in range with 1 less attachment with the Lava Flow. So there's ups and downs to both Slugmas, really. But I think with the Air Balloon, I want to play the lower retreat cost Slugma, because we do want to get a couple of attackers into the active early, things like Torkoal V and Volcanion, which we'll get to in a moment. We want to have better access to getting those active, so I'm playing the 70 hit point ones. It's up to you if you want to make a split of the 70 and 80. It's really a preference thing. But then we have a 2-3 splits of the Magcargos. Smooth Over, obviously a phenomenal ability. We have better ball search in the game now to try and get stage 1s online. I'm not playing any Evo Incense, but we do play the new Quick Balls and Great Balls, so hopefully we can get the army of Slugmas down early, get towards this Magcargo, and start smoothing over. It has amazing synergy with the new Oranguru. Primate Wisdom allows us to switch a card from the top of our deck with 1 in our hand, so we can put Fire's energies back on top of our deck for the synergy with Torkoal V and with Crushing Charge from Magcargo-GX, and we can draw exactly what we want off of the Smooth Over, so we can smooth over a Welder to the top, for example, take that immediately, play the Welder, etc, etc. So, yeah, very nice combo here. There's actually a lot of intricate sequencing with this deck, because ultimately you want to have 2 monkeys in play, you want to have like 1 or 2 smooth overs, and you want to have 1 or 2 crushing charges. That's like the ideal board state. So it can be kind of interesting to sequence, kind of like Gramble in a lot of ways, because you have so many things that you can choose to guarantee around the board. That's the cool thing about it. The main attacker in here is this Magcargo-GX. Crushing Charge. Once during your turn, you can discard the top card of your deck. If it's a basic, attach it to one of your Pokemon. So you can do this randomly if you want to, but usually you're going to try and use Smooth Over and Primate Wisdom to stack the fire to the top, get a free attachment, put it wherever you want, which is really, really good. So this extra energy acceleration on top of Welder means that we can push Lava Flow to very good numbers. We've seen Lava Flow in Mewtwo just because of how powerful that damage output can become. And we're doing the same thing here. 50 base plus 50 more for each we discard from this guy. So yeah, that's pretty decent. We do also have the Burning Magma GX attack. If you don't have anything else better to do, or if you are up against some of these controlling decks that try and get to a low deck size for their Oranguru to be popping off, you can try and Burning Magma them. So that just keeps them in check a little bit here and there. We don't have any other real strong GX attack to use, so it's just something that you can weave in when you want to. We then have 1 Torkoal V. It's a new attacker that has some good early presence for sure. Combustion Pillar does 90 and discard the top card of your deck. If it's a fire, you do 90 more damage. Again, we can try and do this with the Primate Wisdom or with our Smooth Overs and such. So we can do 180 for 3. This is on a basic, so we can have early tempo with this card. Certainly seems like a reasonable option. Also, we have that Steam Crush attack. For 3 fire and a colorless, you can do 120, and discard 2 energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. It can be really frustrating, especially for things like ADP, getting rid of those energies and stuff, so they can't use Ultimate Ray, then they're just relying on finding their sources and such, and then, of course, we're a fire deck. We want to have Zacians in our sights, so yeah, the Torkoal V can be really frustrating for ADP players specifically, and a few other decks out there that don't have great acceleration either, so Steam Crush, decent option, even though its damage output isn't all that high. It's a really good, like, anti-tempo card if you want. We then have one Volcanion. Flare Starter is a pretty decent attack for us to have here. Yes, we do have Welders and we have Crushing Charge, but why not kick off the game a lot earlier and be threatening massive damage just with Flare Starter going second? It seems really decent. Also, High Heat Blast can do 110, and that's enough to knock out Zacian, so you can have a 1-for-2 up trade there. With your Volk, yes, they can play Frying Pan, but we are playing 1 copy of Labs in here to try and counterbalance that. And, of course, we play Custom Catchers as well, so you can just use your Volk, Custom Catcher up the Zacian, knock that guy out with that High Heat Blast. It's pretty easy for us to get 4 energies into play. That's even like from a 0 energy board state, you can just Welder, manually attach, and then Crushing Charge once. So the High Heat Blast is live like a lot throughout the game, so it's good early game, and it's also a decent card for Exactization, which is a really important card in the format, so yeah. 2 copies of Dedenne to help us dig a little bit deeper into the deck, try and grab extra Slugmas and such, also get us more towards Welders, just in general a very good card. And then we are playing 1 copy of Mewtwo and Mew-GX. It's nice to give ourselves a Psychic typing to try and hit against opposing Mewtwo's, so sometimes it's a lot easier for us to close out games against opposing Mewtwo decks just by going, you know, Welder attached game instantly rather than having to go for the full 5 energies for Lava Flow. Also, it keeps our Crushing Charge safe on the bench, so we can keep extra burst potential for future turns. So just using something that isn't the Magcargo means that we keep our engine nice and safe on the bench. So this Mewtwo puts in a shift in a few different ways. So it's a really reasonable card, even though it only has 1 GX to copy in this deck. Onto the items now. I'm playing 1 copy of Reset Stamp. We do have Smooth Over, so guaranteeing that at the right time seems very good. Our only discard comes in the form of, you know, our own abilities and quick balls and such, so you shouldn't be too worried about like not having the stamp available. You'll always have it when you want it. Also, we can obviously Oranguru to protect things when we are Dedenne changing, so yeah, this stamp as a one-of seems good for just hand disruption. We then have 2 Switch and 1 Air Balloon. I think it's solid. We have very, very high retreat costs on a lot of our stuff, like 3 retreat on the big slugs, 3 retreat on the Torkoal, 2 retreats on the Volk, the Monkey, the Mewtwo, all that sort of stuff. So having a decent number of these seems always pretty reasonable. But at the same time, remember that you can always just Welder onto the things and just start smacking with those if you need to as well. So yeah, I think these switching outs should be fine. I like having the Air Balloon in the 60 just because it just sits there so we can pivot a little bit more easily, which is always pretty reasonable. You can even put this on like a Dedenne against Absol and such, so that's always fine. We play a ton of Ball Search in here. The new Quick Ball, obviously an insane card, as you all know at this point. Playing 3 Com as well as 3 Great Balls. Now, I'm not playing Evo Incense, even though we are a Stage 1 list, and that's because this deck wants to get multiple Magcargos out, and the way you do that is getting multiple Slugmas in the early turns. I really feel like this deck needs to get 2 to 3 Slugmas down turn 1 almost every game, and it kind of has... I've already mentioned Gramble, but it also has like a Zoroark feel. Remember when Zoroark used to play Great Balls just so you could get more Zeruas down? Yeah, I've had the same experience with this. So I'm playing a pretty high Great Ball count. If you're suspicious of Great Ball, you can just cut all 3, play a 4th Com, and play 2 Evo Incense. Evo Incense is obviously a very good card, but right now I like the Slug army and value that very, very high. So I'm playing Great Balls. That's just my personal preference. 2 Fire Crystal, it's absolutely insane in this deck, to be honest. We have discard with the Lava Flow, obviously, so it's live a lot, and you get those 3 energies into the hand. It then instantly makes Welder live. It then also makes your Primate Wisdom live, so then you can Crushing Charge again, so it's live all the time. It's a super good card. Once you've done your first Lava Flow, it becomes the nuts, really. Custom Catchers, because we have Smooth Over available, we may as well take advantage of some of the best Gust out there. So yeah, that seems pretty decent. We then have 4 different stadiums. The Labs I've already mentioned is very good against Frying Pan builds that are metal stuff. It can also just get rid of like charms and things if it's going to push things into even higher hit points. So Labs can be pretty decent. You can also use it as a disruptive option against Jirachi-based decks if you're combining it with things like Reset Stamp and such. Because we're not that reliant on tools, we only play the Air Balloon, so that's fine. Heat Factory to help us draw a few more cards, and a couple Giant Hearths to thin the deck of fires. Again, we love having them in hand, because then we can wisdom them to the deck, that then puts them back into play with the Crushing Charge. You'll see that happen all the time. You pull them out of the deck, you put them back on top of the deck, you take them back out of the deck. That's kind of how it works. But yeah, you know how good Hearth is in fire decks. Obviously, it helps Welder become more live as well. We got 3 copies of Cynthia over things like Professor's Research, because we want to protect our stuff. If you play Professor's Research, you then have to make space for a Super Rod or an Ordinary Rod or whatever it's called. And I don't want to do that. So yeah, we're playing the Cynthias. And then 4 Welder to give ourselves amazing energy acceleration and 12 fires. I think with a couple crystals, that should be plenty to see us through the game for some big lava flow knockouts. Now, I've mentioned a few cards you could be playing in here. For Pokemon, there's not actually too many things I would consider. One card that was in the Japanese 60 was Mew. Obviously, protecting yourself against things like Pikarom is good. Protecting those Dedennes from easy snipes from Mewtwo's can also be pretty beneficial. But I just wanted to play more Great Balls, to be honest. I just want to be more consistent. We are a big combo deck in my eyes. That's how this deck plays. So let's just try and make that combo happen and not brick. Mew can like protect you when things are going well, but when things aren't going well, you just want Slugmas and Magcargos, right? So let's just make our actual game plan work as much as possible. That's my mentality. I may as well mention that 80 hit points Slugma. Here it is. It's got 3 retreat cost, and it can burn things, so that 20 damage effectively from the burn can help tick on some tag teams, so it is relevant math. You can certainly think of mix and matching, or just go to the 3 switches if you don't want to play the Air Balloon. If you do want to go more heavy towards tools, you can actually play, what's it called, Buff. You can play the Buff pads. Torkoal has a 4 retreat cost, and you can make that guy a 250 hit point 2 prizer, just like we've seen with Zacian when it puts a frying pan on its head, and then it becomes quite a threatening card for sure. So if you want to go further down the Torkoal route, you can certainly think about adding in a couple buff padding, and you become a real tanky 2 prizer, which can be a real pain for decks. So yeah, I think that just about covers the things that I want to be discussing. So let's just get this saved up, make sure everything is good to go. And we will have some gameplay with Smooth Slugs. I've been playing a bunch of different decks on the ladder the last few days on stream. You can go ahead and look back at the stream highlights. I did upload one of my my day 1 ladder stream, but because I play my just Spotify playlist, I don't want to upload those to YouTube because I'll get copyright strikes. So yeah, there's a bunch of Sword and Shield gameplay on my Twitch, so go ahead and check that out if you want to. But we'll be getting back into deck videos as well here every day again from now on. So been a bit of a patchy week because I've been prioritizing streaming just because I get more physical games in. But yeah, we'll see how this Magcargo goes. It's not a bad turn 1 hand, really. It's not the best, but we got a Slug and a Great Ball. Fire Energy is going to help us draw 3 more cards here, which is pretty sweet. Pretty much the best draw we could have had. See, if these were Evo Incenses right now, how sad would you guys be? We're the best, man. This is why we're the best. You all doubted the Great Ball, and now look at us. Look at us now. So next turn I have Hearth, Welder. Do I want to have the Magcargo threatening this Kroganal? That's the question. Or do I want to just have Smooth Over for the Welder? I think I take the Smooth Over, right? Because I can Smooth Over the bench, and then I can Welder onto the thing I want. Yeah. Smooth Over gets me everything. Busted. Alright. I see a Kroganal, and I think that we're either up against ADP or up against, like, Frostmoth. Neither of those decks will knock out a Slugma turn 1, so I feel pretty safe attaching to the active here. Choice Helmet. Maybe it's an old school ADP. Swell is going to ruin our plans here for sure. Yikes. He missed attachment though, so that's all good. Let's put this in, and I think I will just attempt to bounce this and then go for the Cynthia. Fortunately, he missed attachment, so I'm not under too much pressure to actually knock this out this turn. But we do hit the apes, which is good. I'm going to start off by wisdoming the Welder on top. Wait, let's think about this. So I'm always going to evolve here. What am I going to smooth over? We are going to smooth over one thing and then wisdom it. I obviously want a manual attachment. I also have custom catcher that can be live next turn. It feels really weird to put a fire energy to the top here. But I guess it's a free crushing charge, and then I have an ape wisdom. Yeah, it's just going to be a fire energy. Or it could be dead A change and go wombo, but I think it's not a big deal. We could have worked towards more slugs here as well, if we wanted to, but I'm just going to try and power up this attack to get to the point where we can just knock out ADP straight away. Alright, so we'll wisdom this Welder, because we can't play this turn anyways. Great Ball is very good, but I want to have Welder on top guaranteed, so I could custom catcher for 1 to get the Welder, then Great Ball. That seems fine. It then means I can do another Primate Wisdom. A little bit of a whiff there, but we can do the same thing with the Welder back on top. We get a Volk. I don't think we want to put that guy down. So I'm just going to Burning Magma GX, because we can weave it in as and when we need to. We hit a water and a unit. That might make life a little bit awkward for him, depending on how many targets he has for his ADP. We could have just scuppered his Guzhala play. I could have Fire Crystal and just Lava Flowed through this guy as well for more pressure, but I don't want to waste Fire Crystals because they're super good in this deck. Okay, they're going to Fiona us by the looks of things. They're just going to research for a fresh hand. They get another Swell down, which is really frustrating, so I probably would have smoothed over for another half here if I could have. We're going to send up the Chimp because we have Air Balloon in our deck anyways. And Weld's on top. So I want to smooth over another Fire Energy. No, we start with this. I mean, sure. We'll just do the trade back. We don't need that card. Alright, we'll just start getting through Krogadil now. Interestingly, they played Mewtwo. There's the right flavor of unit energy. Alright, they're just going to Alter Creation GX. I'm going to put a fire to the top to just get more welder value here. Oh, we miss attachment and we have no guaranteed crushing charge. I guess I'm playing down some cards so I can custom. Oh, busted. $350? Sure. Alright, well they drew pretty bad. We didn't draw excellent either. We kept getting screwed by the swells. We couldn't have the ideal game plan, but they drew worse than us, so it's fine. We'll go again. I probably should have played more aggressively against him as well. Probably should have knocked out that Kroganal turn 2 rather than GXing and waiting. Should have put him under the Kosh quicker. Alright, let's see what up. Oh, I see a dark deck box. This is going to be Obstagoon, the free win. I still always choose to go first because we have so much ball search in the deck and we are evolution based. Yeah, it's going to work out here quite nicely. Yeah, it looks like we're up against some goons. Definitely a reason to play this deck on ladder right now because goons are everywhere. I think it's because it's from a pre-release kit, you know. Everyone just has access to the card. So, I don't need the Cynthia if I am going to Welder next turn. I can quick ball for Oranguru now, and then I can smooth over an Oranguru into a Welder next turn. And we can get an extra attempt at another basic. That's fine. I'm going to do Smooth Over Custom instead. Smooth Over Custom is probably better, because then I can manually attach an Oranguru to Crushing Charge. Oh, we just win. Well, they bricked. What a twist. Well, we do have a good matchup against this deck, but they just bricked anyways. Let's go for another game. Let me know in the comments below what other decks you want to see profiled. A few decks I have coming out in the next couple of days are going to be the Cincino, Belelba, Surge, Mill deck. Also, some Rillaboom action going to be coming out. Going to be playing some Frostmoth Keldeo. Those are some of the things in the pipeline. Let me know what else you want to see. Winning a lot of coin flips. You love to see that. Would have been such a sick hand. Double quick ball for the fires with Fire Crystal in hand. Would have been bastard. Oh well. Ooh, this is a really weird start. They're gonna be sat here thinking they're up against Mewtwo. Whimsicott. Let's not play these games. Huh, I could take an Oranguru and protect a custom catcher. But I don't really wanna. I don't want to let him have the free Cramorant beak search, beak catch. Not a bad start, a couple slugs down. Oh, they're playing Busted Great Ball as well. Zacian. We saw all 4 of our custom catches in like the top 15 cards. Pretty bizarre. That was a Recycle Energy, I guess. Yeah. Just Intrepid Sorting. Okay. Smooth over fire just for extra welder value so I can knock this out. I should smooth over the Magcargo, right? We have way better outs to the fire. Especially when we've prized some Magcargos. Let's use our galaxy-sized brain. This doesn't matter. It only matters if they play some, like, ability charms. If they play ability charms, I can't attack them with either of these. I'd have to attack them with Torkoal, which sounds pretty bad. Alright, let's take our prizes. Now we're in that spot where the crystals become our best friends. Crystal becomes Welder and Crushing Charge. Which is pretty busted. Only having one Crushing Charge in play is a little bit rough, though. I mean, it shouldn't be a huge problem, but looks like they're sacking a Zacian here as well, so we'll basically be one bad coin flip away from us winning. Able to quick ball here. Whimsicott Z with Intrepid Sword, Cramorant, and Zebra. PogChamp. Never switch. I might try and mill some energies out of his deck. Well, we hit 2 Cottonies. Well, 2 Cottonies got in the bin. I can't actually tell what we discarded. We hit 1 energy. Alright. We're gonna go Fire Crystal again. We've been wrecked by these hearths every game. Everyone's playing Swell against us. You hate to see it. Used our wisdom. Yeah, I guess I'll play around Stamp a little bit more, right? Well, different prizes ain't bad. There's Whimsicott. Time for the loss. Let's go. It's been fun, guys. It's been fun. Trying to go for the knockout. I respect it. They're at 190 right now. You can get another Whimsicott out. The only thing I'm afraid of was Ability Charm here. They should be pretty much out of swells though, so I can just find a different tool, yeah, a different stadium to labs and then put labs in. They got us. Boom. Boom! 3 big prizes. The comeback's on. Honestly, I just want a fresh hand here. Actually, do I want to just put the Stadium in to counter this Swell to play around Ability Charm? I think Ability Charm's literally the only problem here. I don't want to play Welder, because if I flip Tails, that's my last Welder. So I don't really want to put any energies into play other than manual attachments. Let's try and play down some cards. We have 5 energies still in the deck. Maybe Stamp is my best play. I'm going to Cynthia, see if we can get into some physical fire energies. That's good. We hit the Stamp as well. So we'll do 1 Wisdom, then we'll smooth over Wisdom. We'll do this. And we'll go for the coin flip, I guess. Very good. He basically had to flip 2 heads in a row there to beat us, right? Because we were already prepared for the next Magcargo. So yeah, had to flip double heads against us for us to lose there. Whimsicott still not good. Rip. Slug's doing okay though. We've never had like the ideal board state of double crushing. We've not had like the perfect 6 on board, but we've been doing enough. Man, have we won every coin flip today? Insane. Insano busted. Not the best of starts for us. We can get 1 slug down at least. Get some Hearth on the go. Threaten some high heat blasts. Oh, double calm, nice. Well, now we can pop off if we want to. Do I just Dedenne change this? Depends how slow we want to go. I could just go double slug here, Hearth, attach to Volk, and then like Cynthia next turn. And go for the Flare Starter play, because we're probably going to get Horror House, so setting up a Flare Starter sounds really good. So we should probably just prepare for Horror House. Flare Starter's at least something to do. Fear and bring up a slug is kind of rough. They attach to the active. And they hypnosis. Okay, that's good for us. Don't really want to change away Mewtwo, so I can quick ball a monkey. This is going great. Oh, Fire Crystal's a horrible discard as well. Maybe we chill. Oh, but next time I draw Mewtwo anyway, and then I have the horrible, horrible choice. Alright, we just say goodbye to the crystal. Let's grab some flame energies. Oops. Start getting this Magcargo on the go. I could just GX attack if I wanted to, but I feel like it probably just helps him, so we'll just chill. We got a pretty good setup now, though. Already got Welder established. The old protect the squid, eh? Good old Mally Brick. Okay. I see the problem here. I see your problem, buddy. Didn't want to get rid of 3 Mallies turn 1. There's the Mewtwo. Of course they can recharge to the guy. Start getting that on the go. If he wants to. He's just going to concede. Okay. Their start was pretty poor. Magcargo is like staring down some big damage. If you give this deck time, it certainly is scary because the ideal turns become guaranteed, right? They can just expect me to be powering up like 4 energy each turn at least. If I have double crushing charge, you can expect me to burst 5 energies, which means we burst 300 damage on people, which is pretty good against tag teams, I think. Also, we had Mewtwo, of course, so he could have like just knocked out one Mewtwo and then our Mewtwo kills their next Mewtwo really, really easily. Psychic builds of Mewtwo rarely play any answer to weakness, so. Alright, I'm enjoying myself, so we'll keep playing some slugs. We've had some really quick, scoopy games, so I want to get another like full game with the deck before we head on out. Just go first, man. Easy. Then the Mewtwo start. Busted Great Ball. Saving us, maybe. Crushing hammers and scoop ups. He's got 3 coin flip cards in his opening hand. This is probably Luke Metal. Zacian Luke Metal. Next turn, probably we want to Welder and Dedenne change. So we'll hold the energy. Let's see what they're rocking. Yeah, it's gonna be the Luke Metal build. We've got some wisdom on the go. They can stack a metal to the top for Intrepid Sword if they want to. They obviously have the option because they've already quick balled away a fire. Oh, sorry, a metal. Oh, okay. Okay, he's going to Intrepid Sword now rather than GX attack. Oh, we're going to kill this. Bro, he's dead. He's literally already dead. Oh, jeez. I want to protect this Welder. Have it for next turn. Seems like a good deal. Oh, that's the best of deals. Stamp is good here, but so is more setup. He's already dead. Pow pow. Oh, I did one more than I had to. I forgot I had the 50 base. My bad, my bad. Roasting comments. The BM. Alright, frying pan's here. He's frying panning the bench, so he might be passing into us for another turn. Or he's getting all the sources on the go now. He's got some wisdom on the go. Crushing coming in. Let's pretend that flipped heads and then he took the one off the active. That's what we'll do. It's a bold strategy, and let's see if it pays off for him. Let's get that Welder on top. Let's make sure that we get the Welder. Let's Welder. Oh no, let's Crushing Charge. It's a fire energy. Ta-da! I don't want to draw anything like this. I want to draw into customs or Magcargo-GX. Nice. We learned our lesson. Alright, he's just gonna Brave Blade. Let's see what we can do about this. I mean, we're just toying with him, right? We have everything we need. Three energies. Smooth. Welder. Wisdom. Charge. Let's do more damage. Alright, well, that's my cargo. We had the good rub of the green there. We went first like every game. Great Balls are broken. They've saved us a lot. They've made this deck's early game setup way stronger. So I prefer this to Evo Incense. Let me know your thoughts on the 60. Let me know your thoughts on Magcargo in general. Are you finally bored of facing goons and are just going to play this deck? I'll hear it all down below. There's probably some sequencing things I did wrong. I'm still learning the deck, of course. But hopefully I gave it a decent account of itself. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow for another video.